Back with more Factory Town once again, except today I have an exciting thing to unveil, something that I proudly refer to as the cheat sheet. So, you might have noticed that the scene changed and things are a little bit truncated because you can only capture Excel using monitor capture, but I now have this wonderful little program that will allow me to go through and select the items I want to make and how long I want to make them, so you don't have to watch me struggle on stream with doing my math. That being said, it's not 100% complete, so not everything works. Like, there's certain items that I could pick where it would just break, but because I have to input all the data. But what we're gonna do on today's episode is create the general goods items. So, to get my calculator prepped, I'm going to look at the items that we want to actually use. So, we'll scroll down. So, reinforced planks for materials. I clicked iron plate. Reinforced plank. Okay, and then next is warm coat. I guess to be fair, these are in order, so I could just do it like this. And metal conveyor belt. Okay, so if we look right here at this consumption time little doodad, that's how long it will take my towns to consume all of these items. I did a little bit of testing ahead of time to get this count. Hey Marmy, how's it going? This way we won't have to kind of guess and watch, but scroll back to the top. So my target rate is actually set to maximum happiness. It just works more easily this way, and I don't have to do the math in my head. I can let the program do it for me. So like for instance, the first thing we'll want to work on is probably the reinforced plank. So what I can do right here is I can go to this desired item tab, scroll down to reinforced plank, and not everything's in order because of some stuff I added. I haven't put it in order, but the desired clock cycle. So right now I'll just throw some numbers in there because I don't know what I need. Once I fill this in, I can see my slowest clock cycle is 8 seconds. So pretty goo. If I change the desired clock cycle to 8, then as long as I am producing one reinforced plank every 8 seconds, I will still meet the demand for my town, which is good. To do that, I will need 1 1/4 buildings producing reinforced planks, and they will take, 1 1/4 times as many resources supplied in that time frame. So then what I can do is I can go down each little aspect, and I can find, planks, for instance. So if I click planks, set it to 8 as well, and then my items per cycle would be 1 1/4. So if I click enter, I need about half of a building. Obviously I can't do half of a building, but and last but not least, go down to wood, and it would tell me that I'll need 1 forester. So basically I already know that. I'm not gonna go through and enter that. But then I can do the iron plates and the nails. So let's see, iron plate is right here. Still 8 seconds, but I need 2.5 in that time frame. So again, I need 1 1/4 buildings, and I'll need 2.5 iron ore and fuel. I know that iron is mined at the same rate that that the forge creates them, so I don't really have to worry about that. And then if I go to nails, we'll see a similar situation. It's the same ratio of time, I believe. Yep, it ends up... Actually, it only needs half of the recipe, according to this. I guess that makes sense. It uses half the amount of stuff, but for now, I will go back to the game and we will actually begin making things. So, first things first, we need to clear out the resources that are already here because they're going to be in the way. So we'll just go through and destroy everything with extreme prejudice, clear out the leftover tree planters that have just decided to hang out here and have to flatten the ground. And I will place my general goods store. Okay. So, tools, flatten down, and as long as I'm careful not to destroy my lake, which I don't really have to worry about, but I like having at least some water, life will be all good. Okay, so throw down the general goods store. On level, that is on level, okay. Alright, let's throw all that up and put down the general goods store. Okay, and honestly, I should probably prep the packager as well, even though they haven't patched the patch yet, but still. Whether or not they'll patch it, we'll see, because it could be desired. Perhaps they didn't want me to do what I did, in which case I will have to rework my system, but now I don't have to, so I won't. Okay. I'll need the logistics blocks. What do I want to put on the bottom that I won't get to enjoy the visual representation of? Probably metal conveyors, but I don't know, because the coats look cool. I want the coats on top. Probably the pickaxes as well. What all am I making? I forget. Honestly, the pickaxes don't look that cool, so I'll put those on the bottom so I don't get to enjoy watching them move. Put down the next layer. And the 3 grabbers on that. So warm coat. And where are the other? Metal conveyor belt. I think that's at the top, yeah. And last but not least, reinforced plank. Then add the last layer, and this will be all set up. Okay. It's the warm coat again. Oh yeah, it's back down at the bottom. Warm coat. Metal conveyor. Reinforced plank. Okay, so now I can actually begin constructing things. I think I will actually go and add wood to this, so I don't lose my mind a little bit, which I'm apt to do. I guess to be fair, the shortest amount of time, yeah, it's a non-issue. So I only really need 1 forester for now, but let me look at, because I might want to consolidate all of this. What does the pickaxe take? I know the metal conveyor belt is also going to take some planks. In fact, everything takes planks except for the warm coat, so I will probably actually want to get all that information. So let me copy these and move them down. And that will give me the, oh, can't do it like that. Okay, whatever. Let's just get everything up at the top, and then I will be able to work down from there and make sense of what I'm doing. Okay, so I have reinforced planks. I need warm coats. Where is it? Oh, W, duh. Oh, what does warm coat start with? I don't understand. Okay, so we've got warm coats. Now we need pickaxe. And the, Alright, so interestingly enough, because this takes more than 1 reinforced plank, we're gonna actually bump this up to 2.5. Because the pickaxe also requires a reinforced plank to make. Now I need a metal conveyor belt. Where is it? Metal conveyor belt, okay. Takes 1.5 cloth conveyor belts, so kind of have to work our way backwards. So 1.5 until we get to all of the raw ingredients, and that will allow us to properly plan moving forward. Okay, so wood wheel is the part we need to worry about. One and a half, which takes effectively 2 planks, so I'll want to build around rounding up because it'll just make life easier. Okay, so how many planks do I need? I need 3 1/3 planks plus, or 3 1/6 plus, I think, I'm pretty sure these numbers are rounded, so I think this ends up being 5. 5 planks total. Okay, did I miss anything anywhere? I'm pretty sure that's all the planks. So I need 4 wood in an 8-second time frame, which I still think ends up being 1 forester. Yeah, it's 1 forester. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple on that front. So let's get that set up. I am trying to remember because I know I ran into some issues with the magic conveyor belt and how long it... I guess it's because I built smaller. I ran out of resources because I was done with my planning, so I think if I actually give 1 forester enough space to do its job, we won't run into any problems. How far back do I want to make this? Because it does need all of the space. And I could build it here and then kind of pipe the stuff backwards, which I think could work. Let's do that. And it will give a nice forest by my village, so... Farming/mining, tree planters. Fortunately, it's going to be a very square forest, and I can't do much about that unless I put more tree planters down that are out of the range of the forester to artificially create a forest that doesn't look terrible. Okay, set this to chop down wood, and then I actually have to plant the trees. I was gonna say, do I need to build shared inventory for this? But I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, I've got 2,000. I have plenty of shared inventory, and I do actually need to get at least one of these lines going pretty quickly because I am just hemorrhaging blue coins. Although part of that I think has to do with one of my systems is needlessly wasting blue coins, and I'm pretty sure it's my magic conveyor belts. Or not magic conveyor belts, sorry, magic mana pipes, that's what they're called. Yeah. So if it gets real dire, I just have to keep my eye on it and turn that off. But for now, let's get the trees planted. Oh, I forgot that I had this tool built. Oh, that is nice. Just be able to, you know, do a little one of these moves and get all your trees planted. Okay, so this needs to feed into 2 what are they called? Lumber mills. How I'll probably want to do that then is actually use a barn, even though I don't need to, because that will allow me to more evenly split my resources. Oh my gosh. Scaffolds are hard. Okay. So build a barn, upgrade it because it's nice to have lots of space. Oh yeah, it's at the bottom. Well, not that far down. There we go. We upgrade the barn and give it input. Beautiful. So once those trees start growing, we will be in business. Alright, so... Oh, they're getting close. Alright, so let's build the next layer directly above this. It will actually split from the barn itself into the two lumber mills. They'll be on their like little wings. Oh yeah, here come the trees. Okay, so if I throw down a splitter, then we should have equal distribution of goods. More or less. I'm hoping that's enough input. Just, should probably add some extra output on the sides for safety's sake. In which case I can actually move the barns, or the lumber mills, inwards so they're a little closer. Okay, so 2 lumber mills coming right up. There, one there. Set them to both make planks. They'll get on that momentarily. And we'll also want to hook them up with plenty of input. Don't think I really need this many, but I want to make sure that they are always stocked as long as there's resources. Is indeed highly preferable. Okay. Beautiful. And they should be relatively equally distributed. And then probably just feed back into a barn above it. And we have a point from which we can take our planks and pipe them to the other parts of the assembly system. I don't want to use a packager, but if I need to get everything where it's gotta go, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. So I should probably... Oh wait, no, I can use 3 inputs. I don't have to worry about that. I was afraid that I would like block off potential output, but that's a non-issue because I can still move up from here. Got space to work with, so it's not a problem. I guess I can switch back to the actual game. And I'll leave the cheat sheet up so people can see if they care. I gotta show it off. It's nice and colorful, and I'm proud of it. Okay, planks. And plenty of storage for them. Yeah, I don't even really need the extra lines, but that way when it's backed up, it'll be in a better spot. And I guess we are only at like half happiness, or less than that even, so. Okay, so next step is the reinforced plank. I should look at how much iron ore I need, because that is something I'm definitely going to have to consolidate, is the production of iron. And the nails are going to be a bit of a tricky part as well, because I can't just process iron plates and then process them after the fact, which I'll end up doing with the metal conveyor belts, but because I can just use the iron plates for gears. So I guess, let's see. I'll need a massive mining operation that splits it into the appropriate orientations. So let's see, I need iron plate. There's the iron plate. I guess let me throw gears on here because I want to make sure that I don't incorrectly calculate them. Okay, yeah, so they actually do take a little more than I thought because they'll have to speed the clock up on that. Because they normally take 10 seconds to be produced, so if we add up everything, there's 6 1/4, 9 1/4, 15 1/4, 18 plus 3/4, so 19. Might just want to round it up to 20 to make sure that it's the we're not going to run out of stuff. So 20 iron, that's a lot. Only half the planks are coming out. It's just the way that the order or the priority is that it's pulling the planks from this one on this really short conveyor that you can't really see, whereas this one's it's being pulled from the same location, but it has a longer path because they are both running at about the same production rate. Speed this up also. Could be good. Throw some boosters on it. Okay, that's most of my Omni Stones used. Need to build a little... I realize I just threw mana boosters on this, but I don't think it's worth going through the effort of filling it. You should make sure that this isn't backed up. Okay, no, this is pumping out logs as quickly as possible. This seems like it's working correctly. Yeah. Yeah, because what, I don't actually need 2 buildings? Question mark? Yeah, we'll see if it works out. Let's see, iron plate. 8 seconds and 20. Okay, so I need 10 forges, Jesus. And then also nails. I need like 16 nails because I have to round up. This is going to be... I'm glad I gave myself a lot of ground because this is gonna be a lot more of an undertaking than I thought it would be. I picked rail tiles, and that is not what I meant to click on. And as you can see, it is broken because rail tiles are not programmed. Okay, so the nails will be easier. One, because there's fewer of them, but they require less items as well. So it's only going to take 4 forges making them, and they just have to be supplied with 4 iron and 4 fuel in this time frame. Probably want to get lava set up, which is unfortunately one of the things I don't have calculated out, but... So how do I get 24 iron? I guess I should, before I throw all my mines down, make sure I'm collecting the right amount of iron. Iron ore. I need 24 in that amount of time. I need 12 mines. Mining all of it. Doesn't seem quite right as far as the number of buildings. I have any tutorials on YouTube? Unfortunately not yet. Most of my time is taken up at my job, and then I come home and stream for a little bit. I do upload all of my streams onto my YouTube. It's not like... Actually, I'm realizing I'm not even sure if I put a link to my YouTube in my channel yet, but you can at least see the progression of this town up to this point on there. So let's see, how many mines was that? 12 mines. A lot. I probably want to use minecarts to move the items from them. What I should do is build a large... Should build a large 3, 4... Oh. Should build a large earth crystal setup to keep the... or earth shrine setup to keep my minerals intact. To make life slightly easier. Okay, so there's 12 mines. Now we just need minecarts to move the items. I want to keep the track as short as possible because almost to the point where like I might need to have... as long as... there's an internal conflict that I've made very external with my groans, and that is that once these are running, they're going to be outputting very quickly. And I'm trying to decide if I need kind of like buffer, and I think the answer is yes. I guess to be fair, I don't need I can have most of them feeding directly into a forge. So I should take that into consideration. In fact, I can have all of them feeding directly into a forge. The iron's not going to be used anywhere other than the forge. I just have to get the items out of the forges and to their appropriate locations. So let me place a ton of iron, if I can. Then I'll probably want to set up the... It's under farming. Set up the... Okay, I do have a bunch. Oh, I forgot. I have the the tool sized up. I'm like, why is it gonna cost me so much? I don't understand. Okay. I can do this, which will give these a nice boost, but then I'll want to get the earth shrines running before I get this setup going, so that they'll increase in capacity, because right now they're pretty low. And earth shrines did get a buff recently, which is nice. Let me have a look over here. Yeah, because like even these ones are full. They've done their job. It only takes 1 energy now, and I'm pretty sure it now they get a lot more boost added to them than they had before. Granted, that system's not running constantly, whereas this system will be running constantly. So let me think. I should probably build the whole infrastructure I need and then place the earth shrines on the top, because they're not limited by the vertical position. Okay, so I need a bunch of silos. I gotta go up to the next level to place the forges. You have to be smart with either my forge or my earth shrine placement or with my heat distribution, because while this system will produce a good amount of fertilizer, I don't think I can rely on it. So I will probably need to use lava. Let's see, yeah, because I'm only 3 wool, 1.5 leather. So that's only 4. Yeah, that's not nearly enough fuel. So I'll probably just direct that to my my medical line, because I know it's running at a slight deficit of fuel. So let me double check even. Yeah, these are running out very quickly. I'll probably just feed all of it to my medical line and then divert it from there if necessary. But I'll probably need to use lava to fuel my forges, which I'll also have to take into consideration with as far as getting things to and from everything out. That'll be a good use for minecarts, is getting the lava distributed. Alright, the question will be, I'll probably want to move... Yeah, I'm just realizing everything is going to be complicated, and it would be less complicated if I had given myself just one more space to work with. Unless, to be fair, the fuel is going to be at a lower demand than the other resources, so I might be able, as long as I have my minecart system spaced properly, can probably get it satisfied without using an internal buffer, because none of them are going to be using fuel that quickly. Okay, where are my silos? Oh yes, the satisfying placing of just rows of silos. I have to make sure that these aren't connected to this. Okay, good, they aren't. I might run into that issue when I go up to the next layer, so I'll need to take that into consideration. Otherwise, I will completely jam up my medical line, which, needless to say, would be a bad thing. What's happening? Am I already out? No, these barns are full. Oh, okay, so no, we still do have a lot of fertilizer. It is just going down quickly. This line is broken, which is why we're probably not... What the heck even happened here? Because, like, the fish oil just keeps overriding my slot for remedies. Okay, so this line doesn't face the direction it's supposed to face. Rather, it's just jammed for some reason. Let's see, because this goes out. No, it works. This is just here for some reason. Here you go that way. There you go. I don't know what this line does now at this point. I think... Let's see, because there's another one over here. So where do these ones go? Okay, so they go around, they get in over there. Yeah, I think when I restructured this, I ended up changing the direction of, or changing the lines in a way that made it so that spot was unnecessary, and I guess all of this is now. Because this will zigzag like that into here. But what part of these are we missing? I guess we are short on the remedies. They're not outputting constantly, but that's because the herb farms can't keep up. Constantly gotta water stuff. But as happiness increases, that'll be less of an issue, so... Okay. So this system's all full now. Which reminds me... Okay, no. I was like, I forgot to finish it, but no, it's good. Alright, let me get the grabbers on this line. I guess I should probably get these mines configured, even though they will deplete the nodes, just because if I don't, I will probably not be able to very easily. Okay. So the whole system's gonna start filling up, which is kinda nice, although it is not ready to be filled. Okay. Trying to think, is there any reason that I would need to have blocks on the lowest level? I think the answer is no. I can probably put more rocks down there, which will increase the overall speed of the system as well. I've done it now. Placed my rocks in the wrong spot. Look at them just wiggle. Okay, so a lot of these silos are full already, which is good. Now let's add the forge level. I missed the scaffold. Yes, I did. It's right there. Okay. Throw all this down. And we get to build the forges. So, if I look back at the list, out of the... According to my list, only... See, I guess what I'm confused about is I need 14 buildings producing items, but only 24, or only 12 making them, but if memory had served me, I had thought that mines and forges produce things on the same ratio, so perhaps I have messed up somewhere. But the biggest takeaway is that of my need, 4 of it comes from the nails, and I guess, oh, it's because the nails produce faster as well, so like, this is all adjusted for time requirements. Okay, so then, how do I divvy this appropriately? I mean, a lot of the buildings can just be fed on a 1-to-1. I guess I'll place the scaffold down so I can get the forges down. And what I might just end up doing is using these sides, might change these to barns and then feed them into the additional forges for nails is probably the best course of action. So sorry that I... Sorry, little guys. Oh, wait. I built a little close to my assembly line, so I might not be able to do that. I guess what I could do is put the two on the back right here, the two forges on the back. It's not a good solution, but it is a solution. And it might be what I end up doing. But it will complicate getting items out of the system. Unless I use like barns on top of the forges, which might be worth doing anyway because it'll consolidate it without the need of minecarts. I can fit everything. Oh, that's getting all those lines in there is going to be the hard part. Okay, let's hook up let's get all the forges placed and hook them up. Okay, so these two will be nails. Or, I guess these four, but 2 mines, and then everything else will be iron plates. Nails. Yeah, we go much faster. Oops, not gold. Okay, so now I need to throw down all the grabbers. I could move this setup further over and then borrow some input from these other silos. I think that might be a good idea. So if I put these nail setups on the end, even though it'll make it harder to get fuel to them and items out of them, it will ensure that resources are not dependent all on one location. Well, I guess it's not perfect, but it'll work. So let's say I can get 4 lines coming in on the other side. And even though this looks ridiculous, and in many ways it is ridiculous, it's not because I need that much input, it's just I need input from that many sources. Oh wait, no, I can only do 3. Okay. So this will ensure that resources are not being taken all from one set of mines, but this way I have it shared a bit better. Now I need a couple of things. The fuel. I guess I'll make this one nails instead of iron then, because it will allow me to streamline things a bit. That way I can have this setup pushing plates, and then this setup pushing nails. So let me think. I need fuel, which I can have one line on the bottom here, but then I need to figure out how to get it into these. That's gonna be the tough part. Because I want to put the output lines higher, like, up on the next level. I could put a barn. Well, no. Probably gonna use minecarts to get everything to a centralized barn location, but that means the system has to be relatively fleshed out, and I guess from whatever source I pull my fuel, I can probably just pipe it directly into these forges as well. So I actually need to go down a layer to build the farm, or the barn where the fuel will be stored. Where's a barn? Here's a barn. I'll just do it like that, and that will be where the fuel comes from. Or is taken from. So I actually need to rotate all these so they're facing not onto the assembly line. Otherwise, it's all my minecarts are going to try and take from these, and I don't want them to take on this level. I want them to add on this level. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll build. I guess let me filter this barn right away so I don't accidentally put the wrong thing in. It's going to have buckets of lava. How you can fill a wooden barn with 1,000 buckets of lava and have it not be a problem, I do not know, but it's not. I'm glad that it works. Okay. So now I'll throw down the rails. These are actually automatically hooking up, which is nice. Okay. So, I will want to get the system set up for... let me think. I might actually want to move this barn over. Then extend the track out. Problem is, well, no. Barn can be here. Have an output. And then we'll just channel all the fuel in, but we could build another barn that pumps into this barn. That way, we can be producing a lot of lava. I also want this to be filtered to buckets of magma. It's not magma once it's been removed from the earth, so I don't know why it says it's magma. Honestly, I feel a little betrayed. Make sure that, oh, that's the wrong type of scaffold, but make sure that this has as many connection points through it as possible. Otherwise I'll have to upgrade to a spinny minecart system, which is fun, but not what I want to do. I'll build all of the lava shrines, or fire shrines rather. I'll have to take this into consideration, this area right here, when setting up my earth shrines as well. In many ways I'm wondering if I should just push it back, or if I'll just have the earth shrines like stacked above these, and then I guess they won't run into each other, so it should be okay. Alright, buildings, fire shrine. By far and away one of the most useful items, but it's so useful I feel bad using it. It's moderately overpowered. So it's not going to be hooked up yet, but yeah, I'll hook it up after I've figured out where I want the rest of my infrastructure to be, so I don't put my rechargers in the way. Especially because I'm going to have to spend some Omni Stones to upgrade them. Okay. What I do need to do is get minecarts on this system. I don't know how many I need, but I do know they need to be relatively evenly spaced, so I guess I'll put one every 2 blocks. No, I can't. There's a gap. Oh well. So rotate them all, which will also start them moving. Make sure they're all facing the correct direction, and when I unpause the game, they should start going. Yep. Okay, so I'll make sure all my forges have fuel once I actually start producing fuel, but next I need to actually move the items from the forges. Okay, I guess this won't make sure they all have fuel. I need to keep remembering that. This is not... doesn't work for everything. I think what I'll probably end up doing then to fuel my forges is have one line that connects directly in and then another line that goes under and hooks up to the other ones. Probably the easiest route. So how high do I have to go to clear this? Only 3 blocks, perfect. Okay, so I should only need 1 line, I hope. Guess I could do 2 lines for safety's sake. It's gonna be a lot harder to get those 2 lines in to the other farm because I can't hook them up to this barn unless I'm guaranteed a surplus. I guess I should be guaranteed a surplus. If I'm not, then my system's not gonna work anyway. Because I can't really go over either. I guess I'll start with 1 line, and if I need more fuel, I will modify it from there. Okay. 2, 3, 4. I think that's correct. Nope, it's 1 block too high. It's also 1 block over. Okay. So this will go under everything. I want to move this real quick so I can replace it with the appropriate type of scaffold to get the items underneath. I'm realizing that this is kind of in the way. I don't think that'll be an issue. I think I can still... Yeah, because it's not going to be in the line of where my minecarts will be pulling from the system. Okay. Throw that back there. Oh, I forgot to put my my little pillars. Make sure it's nice and supported. Gotta be a good parent to my scaffolding. Thought so. Okay, there we go. It's all hooked up the way it needs to be. So let's put my conveyors back in place. That's all good to go. Can put 1 here to get this hooked up. And I guess I'll build the first part of this one. But it can be hooked up. Alright, so now I actually have to go from 2 blocks down to 2 blocks above. Go over this line. Alright, so that's on the level. Build a ramp down. And connect it all up. Wonderful. Okay, so once I actually start producing lava, this system will be completely fueled. And then, now I need to build output barns. The question is where? Obviously I'm going to want it to be above all of this stuff. And that'll be fine because it'll be pulling from the 3rd block anyway. I think I'll have them in level with... They'll be in line with the forge, so my iron plates will be here. And my nails will be right here. And that'll make them a little bit easier to pull out of the system than they would if they were slid over by 2 blocks. So, barns. I will definitely want to filter these. I'm almost wondering, because the nails have to... I haven't really had to deal with this amount of nails moving through a system. How many nails did I... Oh. Okay, that might be why my need is a little higher than it says it is, because I said that I need to build 16 nails, but I really only need to build 13 nails. So if I change that, I mean, it doesn't really change it in any wildly significant way, so I guess I'm still fine. Alright, nails. This barn is nails. This barn is now upgraded. If I have to package them, I have to package them, but I will try not to. I mean, I can use minecarts, so hopefully it's a non-issue. Where's iron plates? There we go. Okay, so now we hook these up by adding another layer to the rails setup. It will extend out a little bit on this side, only by 1 block. And then I get to do it on here. This might... No, because it produces them so fast. I might be able to just... I don't know. I do feel like I need some internal storage for this setup, otherwise it is going to run into problems. I didn't really give it space to do that. I guess I'll have 2 blocks, or 2 outputs from each into silos that face into each other, because why not? They're in love. They're embracing one another. Then what I can have is I can just have my railcart system kind of swing around and pick up from both silos. And that way I don't have to worry about the number of ports, as I can't really get that many ports through. Well, maybe I could. Just do it this way. Do have to be weary. I don't accidentally grab the nails on this portion of the rail, because it's gonna try to, and I have to tell it not to. Actually, it won't try to because it's so high up that it's not linking with the buildings automatically, I should say. It will still reach. Okay, so input. Skip that one. These ones all need output. That last one doesn't, but that one does. And all of these need output. Perfect. Same thing as last time, I'll build minecarts on every other block, or every 2 blocks I should say, which will hopefully give the system enough throughput. This one also could not properly meet the setup conditions. There are some with there's one pair with a gap that is larger than the rest, and it is very unfortunate, but it's working, so. And then these ones will actually be on a higher level because they need to get over the scaffold that connects to the higher points. But they will be a nice loop, all the same. Just to be fair, they are still going to be pushing a lot of product, even though they're just being used in a smaller, utilizes fewer forges, but it's still a lot of items and a comparable quantity. Okay. So throw minecarts down there. 2. One of these days, one of these will be the right length that we can properly space the minecarts. And it was almost this one. Okay, now I need to actually put down rail stops. Okay, so this one might be a little weird. I need to look at it, make sure it's doing the correct thing. It is, okay. So then these ones are outputs. Guess I'll just put them all on the same side. I don't need to put them on both sides. Okay, so now these 2 systems will both feed into their respective barns, and now they need fuel. So, a couple of things. I need to set my mana network. I now have a determined height. That is to say that it is above all these minecarts. But how large do I want to make it? It does need to be kind of self-contained, also. Probably have my recharging infrastructure over here, and then the actual blocks can be lined up with the forges. Okay. Yeah, these ones on the corners don't actually need to be that far over. So I guess I can actually delete this layer and then just bring it in by one block. That's the farthest they'll reach is here. Maybe an extra layer right here. That way they can reach the ones in the center. Now it's just a matter of where I want to put them. I will kind of need them overlapping, so I guess I'll just do it every 2 blocks. There we go. Because even though they've been buffed, still want to make sure, because the system's going to be pumping shit out. It needs to be very powerful. I'm actually wondering if I'm even going to be able to fit the recharging infrastructure. Well, I said I was going to build it over here, I forgot. It's like I wanted to make it all stacked and nice, but I don't know how well it's going to work. Okay, Earth Shrines. Earth Shrine. Should be able to build this without any problems. I've got plenty of resources. Oh, I forgot to place one of the stone bricks. Okay, so it's going to need a pretty hefty infrastructure to recharge it. Let's see, how many distinct setups could I build? I could build 3 and have them be over this conveyor, actually. And they could have like receiver here, transceiver there. That's 4 blocks. Okay. So yeah, then that's basically this setup. I think that'll work. So I'll actually build it literally above it, which will be kind of funny. Oh wait, but forgot about the transmitters. That's something I need to test. Let's do a little test to figure out how transmitters handle depleted resources. Okay, so I need something that will consume a crystal. Here you go, a recharge or an enchanter. It doesn't really matter what I set it to. It'll eat 1 crystal. Need to borrow a crystal. Actually, what I could just do is yoink 1 from my mana reactor. Okay. And when I say yoink, I mean literally only 1 and yoink it. Okay. Clear that, perfect. Okay, so, interesting. This will dramatically improve the way that I design my setups. A transmitter will not accept a depleted crystal, so I don't need to worry about having a block between my input and output line, like I do right here, because I was afraid that it would push the dead crystals into the transmitter, but it won't happen, so I don't have to worry about it. Which does mean that I can build these efficiently. Hooray. So, build the first bridge. Then the actual recharges will be on the wings. Okay, Okay, so transmitter here, receiver here. Bye, Marmy. Have a good night. With a belt and some rechargers. Have them face away from the line, and probably upgrade each one twice, because I don't have a ton of Omni stones, but I do have some. Enough that I can afford to use them on this. Okay, so then I build the second layer on top, which is the output line. Wait a second. Done this backwards, damn it. To put the input line on the top, otherwise it doesn't work. And these do actually have to face inwards. There we go. There we go. Okay, so move this. Build it 2 blocks higher. Where did I build that scaffold? Oh no. Oh no. Just jam up the whole assembly line, break everything. Okay, now this will work. Nice and compact. I could even do something similar for these guys. Okay, so let me hook up this first one and get crystals in it, because then they'll at least start doing their job. Okay, so I didn't consider how I was actually going to hook all of these up. I could probably do transmitter in. Or I could go around. I guess if I go in, it's more evenly distributed. Because then I can use splitters more effectively. Not amazingly, but more effectively. Okay, and then everything just feeds back out to the receiver. Okay, where are earth crystals? Pretty sure, yeah, I've just got a straight line from there. Yoink. Steal some of these guys. And that system will jam up in due time, but let's watch it to make sure it actually works. Okay, good. Crystals are entering the system, they're distributing between the shrines and then going to the rechargers. Okay, so we actually won't... We're only going to get a trickle of crystals, and I need to actually put a splitter on this, otherwise it's not going to work. Why are they not... Okay, they're just being produced slowly. What's the problem here, boys? Need to be upgraded. I don't have a lot of crystals to burn, so that's all you get. I think it is actually outpacing production now. I mean, that's not a terrible thing, I guess. It's not outpacing production, it's outpacing throughput, which is more of an issue. Okay, so now that'll be sped up, so that shouldn't be as much of an issue now. Do the same thing with this. I said do the same thing with this. Doesn't want me to. Guess I should pause the game. I wanna let... Come on, you just have to go 1 block forward and then turn. There you go. Oh my gosh, it didn't work. It just made everything astronomically worse. Amazing. Okay, I guess I am gonna have to upgrade each one of these by hand. And I have to rebuild the scaffold. Okay, so that's still correct. Now this one I should just be able to draw a straight line. Alright, good. Okay, so now the issue shouldn't be... Okay, I guess it is still sort of production. But it's better than it was. And this is why we are hemorrhaging blue coins. Because I'm doing shit like this. Okay. So I think I need to up my mine infrastructure that's increased. Yes, one mine is not going to cut it. Especially a mine with a fucking... Oh my gosh, it still has a shoot. Get out of here, barn. Okay, 1-to-1 should make things a little better. Yeah, no, they're actually outpacing it. So hopefully we should see this balance out. I don't know how the mana crystals are gonna do. They seem to be slowed down by their assembly line. Okay, yeah. Alright, so now they're being slowed down by their actual production rate, but that's whatever. Just trying to balance this a bit more. Actually, this is taking purple coins as well as blue coins. I guess that's not as much of an issue. Why am I going down in gold coins? What's the problem? What am I doing that takes gold coins? I know that the, I guess if I have a massive recharging infrastructure like I literally just build, that could cause me to go down in blue coins, but I wouldn't think, or yellow coins. I didn't think it'd be that obnoxious. Like, what is happening? Or did one of my lines break over here? No, they seem to be going just fine. Limited by the same things they were limited by, unless... Oh, I did just make... Oh yeah. I just placed a bunch of conveyor belts, and guess what? They cost a lot of yellow coins to make. So that could explain that, which means it's also a temporary problem, which is fine. So let me go back and look at my mana network since I ignored it, which usually means the lines will back up. Interestingly, they have not, and I'm about to run, in fact I have run out of earth crystals. Oh, of course, they still have to refill the barns after I placed all of those earth shrines. Whoops. Okay, well, it'll sort its life out soon enough. And then we'll actually start getting more crystals into the system. Shouldn't take too much longer. By the time I build the rest of the infrastructure, we'll probably start seeing more crystals come through the line. Okay, so let me duplicate this design, and then we will be golden. Is that? Yeah, it is on that level. Okay. Let's do a line. And place the output. Then go up 2. And place the input. Receivers, I guess I'll pause the game while I place them until I get splitters down. There we go. Guess that doesn't really matter, they shouldn't have anything enter them, unless I've designed my system wrong, but it's a nice compact way to keep all of my rocks steady. How are these guys doing? They're slowly getting boosted. I guess they can't keep up, but I think that has more to do with the transfer rate of earth crystals and the fact that the system is not saturated. Once the system is saturated, hopefully we'll see fewer problems, but also I think it might just be par for the course. I mean, as long as they're not depleted, they'll be providing a boost, so... Anyway, let's throw down these bad boys. And my transmitters. Okay, so go and upgrade each of these 2 times. I guess the one thing I hadn't really realized is I had so many, from deleting all of my old lines, I had so many magic conveyors in my storage that I didn't think about the cost of producing them. That is disconcerting, because I was planning on using I was planning on using magic conveyors as the item that I have to sell, but I might have to convert my spellbooks from strength to stamina, because I might need those gold coins. I guess, to be fair, I could sell crowns. Crowns is still an option. And that should provide me a lot of yellow coins to hopefully offset the cost of the magic conveyors. I mean, it's not 1-to-1, but I don't need it to be 1-to-1. I just need it to be more balanced than it currently is. So I think we'll be okay. Yeah, it costs 40 coins to produce a magic conveyor belt. It costs 30, or I earn 30, so it's a deficit of 10. But I'm trying to think, how many stone bricks do I need? I didn't even think about that. For this setup, I don't need much. I need like 1, so it's 4 gold coins. It's not a huge problem. I think I'll be okay. And if I'm not, I can switch. If I end up running low on red coins, I do have some systems that are just kind of left over that are building items, and I can modify them. You know what? Actually, I am gonna preemptively just go ahead and switch my spellbook to stamina, and all I'll have to do is pump out the fire crystals and pump in some air stones or air crystals. It won't require a massive change to my setup, I think, because I am still well, no. I'm being too reactive. I need to wait until I have this system set up, all of my general goods, because they consume a lot of red coins. And I can't justify making a hasty decision, swapping over my whole assembly line, and then, oh, suddenly now I'm not making enough red coins because I changed my whole system around. I'm earning a lot of red coins, but I'll be consuming a lot of them as well, so I do need to be weary of that. Let me actually hook up all of these now that I have them built. Okay, so the systems are becoming more saturated, which is good. And eventually we'll be able to hook in the next setup. Alright, connect all these up. I do have to say, a well-designed, like, mana pipe cell looks really nice compared to a lot of the stuff I had built. And it's not always, I mean, I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm a fucking genius, this is the best that's ever been designed, but I have to say, for something that I didn't take a lot of time to plan, it is working pretty well. Okay, so this system I think is actually fully saturated and it is not able to recharge fast enough. Now the whole system is jammed. What's the problem? Oh, the problem now is that I deleted the... yeah. So, do I scale this up? It won't be that hard. I could just build another layer, so to speak. That's probably the best idea. So I'll let this line back up like it's going to, but I will build a second line of basically that mimics this setup, but it's over on the other side of the conveyor, and then I'll just have it split between this two when it's full. Yeah, because this is not able to keep up. And if I had, you know, actually finished my... well, I do have... okay, I do actually have power as some options. It just doesn't work quite correctly yet. So, let's see. My desired clock cycle is 1 second. My items per cycle is 8. It is 8. So I need 8 earth power in 1 second. Yeah, this whole part is super messed up. Okay, I don't think this is actually going to tell me anything useful. My omnibus level is 2. Yeah, 300 buildings is not quite correct. I think it works if I scale it down to base production rate. So it's telling me I need 17 buildings in order to produce that much. If I increase the Omni boost level, it does drop substantially, but it also increases the price substantially. So if I boosted these all to level 5, I could do it. I guess I will be having 16 of these. I'm like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous, 17. But I will have 16 rechargers in the system. And they will, as long as they're outpacing the mines, they will be, they will hit a point where they're fully charged. So I think it'll be okay if I just double the system. Okay. So I guess I'll just build this line. And then duplicate everything, and it should still be pretty easy to hook up. And they'll naturally filter to where they need to go. These will keep my mines running very quickly once they actually are running. That is another thing. These right now they have to go through and they have to charge all of the stones because the stones, you know, when you build them, they're not fully, they're not at their full capacity. But once they're at their full capacity, then the system only has to be fast enough to recharge them after each piece is consumed. But if the system is only using so much iron ore, it won't be that'll have an impact on the actual required rate. But I would rather have a fully fledged infrastructure than one that is failing to meet my needs drastically. Hopefully we don't end up running into issues where I'm limited by my pipe setup. That would be unfortunate. Although it would be easy enough to just break this into 6 distinct systems instead of 3 that are shared. I suppose that's honestly probably the best way to do it. Do we have enough Omni Stones for all of this? I didn't think about that. And I'm siphoning all of the... Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna run out. And I'm siphoning all of them to fill this, all of my earth stones, so I'm not making any more right now. Oh well. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is break this off into 2 distinct systems. So what I'm going to want to do then is probably delete that, let all of the full crystals filter out, or at least let them start to filter out so I can delete the pipe network. Deleted the mana connectors, which I did not mean to do. Is it saying house level 5? Whatever. Delete the splitters. And delete this. Perfect. Okay. So I'll still want... I guess I'll have the splitters here anyway to just make it a little more equally distributed. Yeah. So then... Oops. All I have to do now is hook that up, but then I can go down and around and just connect it to that receiver. Honestly, it would have been better if I had like flipped this maybe, but yeah, I forgot splitters create problems. Or no, these are not this. I don't think it's the splitter's fault. I think that these are not connected in the correct direction. Yeah. Sorry, splitters, that I spoke ill of you. It's not your fault. I didn't mean it. I did mean it, but I realized I was wrong. Okay. So now I can do this. And voila. So then, what we actually have to do here is go around. And my beautiful system is no longer described in such a way. In fact, this is impossible. Fuck. Okay. Let me throw another blocker down so the system will stop. I do have to have these share because I don't have enough space to do it otherwise. I guess I'll just delete the line and then I don't have to worry about that. Okay, clear up all the pipes. Yeah. Delete the splitters. This will still allow me to have a network that is centralized. I guess I'll pause the game real quick. Okay, and then this transmitter will just connect to that point. They're kind of running backwards. Now the way this will work is they'll all hook them into this one receiver, but if that receiver's full, they'll divert to the next one. And that way, system won't back up too much, and more importantly, it still fits within the required footprint, so I can't have it splurge out to the sides at all, otherwise it's not modular enough to be duplicated. Okay, so now let's set up all these other ones. Beautiful. So everything's hooked up, more or less. Okay. Now we just have to actually get crystals into these systems. So just use splitters like I had before. And wait until the system is just completely overburdened, but that'll be fine. And then, obviously, it's going to be running slowly right now because not everything's upgraded because I don't have enough Omni Stones, but in due time, I suppose. And I'll start actually, generating its resources and hopefully build them, but I know it's going to take a while. Because they only start with like 40, and I'm pretty sure they can hold like 400. Yes. It'll take a very long time. Okay. Now, more importantly, fuel. We need fire. So each one of these takes 2. It takes 1 second, but it is improved by happiness. So again, this is going to need a lot of rechargers. Okay. Can I fit? How many systems can I fit in here? 1, 2. I can fit 2. I'm not sure I can fit 2. I guess there's no reason not to just, let's see, because this would be output. Connect to here. Alright, so we can build directly above everything, I think. Honestly, that doesn't give me a lot to work with. Because I can't cross this threshold at all. This has mana pipes running on it. Okay, so I will just want to kind of build this way, I guess. And build some recharger wings. And then they can be nice and large. Without running into anything. So I could have... What I could actually do then is have my receiver point be here, and then we can kind of have it travel over, which will be nice. Then we can kind of double up and save some space. So, recharger line will be here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, no, that's 7, 8, so I'll have 16. Just like I did with the other ones, except it'll only be fueling 3 fire shrines. So hopefully they will be sufficient. I'll upgrade them later because I feel like they won't need it as much, but I guess there's a chance I could be wrong. Build some nice support scaffolds per the norm. And just throw some extras in, because why not? They look nice. Okay, so transmitter right here, the line into it, and the line that goes above it. Okay, so this one needs to be covered in splitters, and I need a mana receiver. Perfect, so now I can build all these. I don't even know if I can actually... Well, I should be okay. They're a little expensive, I'm realizing, as I build a ton of them. Okay, so now I also need to get fire crystals into the system, which is going to be easier said than done. Questioning, I might want to actually build this splitter farther back to make the system hold more crystals. So I've actually built a splitter right there. It will have less of an impact on throughput. Okay, now where are fire crystals? Oh, those are being used. There's some fire crystals. Okay. Gotta go this way, game. Oh wait, there's a line in my way. Never mind. I hope I didn't break anything. And go around here. Just circumvent the whole system. Go around everything. And place it there. That being said, we should have a lot of fire crystals in backlog. Yes, indeed. Let me actually pause the game and build the rest of these before the terrifying stream of fire crystals reaches my area. Okay. Get all these built on both sides, and then we should have a consistent input of fuel, which means these systems will come to life and actually start producing. And they will do this until their barns are full. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, didn't even end up using that scaffold, so let's get rid of that. Five, 6, 7. Oh no, it's not far enough. Okay. Oh yeah, just the giant pillars into the air. Beautiful. This one doesn't need as much artificial support though, because it's not going over anything. I know that makes sense, but you know, aesthetically speaking, looks better that way. It's just over the ground, I don't care that much. Okay. Get these last few supports down and then actually build the bread and the butter, the beef, the actual machine. Okay, and all in all, the outputs are still accessible, maybe not as easily so, but they're still accessible. Build the rechargers first. Oh gosh, am I gonna run out of mana bricks? No, it was very close. I think I still have enough to place all of my other blocks as well. Nope! Shit. Okay, so I am short on mana bricks. I have to unpause the game for a short moment while I get more mana bricks to be able to build my receivers. That's amazing. It's okay, I still have to build some scaffold anyway. How many does it take to build a receiver? It's only 20. Okay, so I'm alright, I'm there now. Literally exactly enough. So that system's gonna be running for a long time to fill my backlog back up. I was thinking that I should probably go over there and add more storage. I'll do that after I get this up and running. Actually, let me mouse over these. Okay, we've actually already started to make a metric shit ton of things. There's so many already. Only let it run for a second, and it's just like, fuck you, man. Okay, so fuel is an issue. Still. I mean, I guess, still, I've only hooked up 1/4 of the setup. And I haven't upgraded it at all. Okay, that's a little ridiculous to say still. Alright, over here to my antiquated monstrosities. Upgrade them. Probably don't need it, like, wildly upgraded, but I think an additional, oh, okay. I think an additional, I've doubled the storage effectively, I think. So I added 3,200. I don't remember what the storage was originally, but let the game keep going on that, and my blue coins will continue to steadily drop now since I've used something that requires blue coins to produce. And let's hook up the rest of these. Okay, yes, it's already full, which is a good thing, but I digress. Okay. Whoops, I put that block one too far over. Do I actually have to... I don't think I actually have to stop it on the connector, do I? I can just draw these ones through. I'll click on them just in case. Okay, so the splitters. I guess as far as this is concerned, I will also put down splitters. This line I can just delete. Okay, so now hopefully we'll start seeing fuel production at a rate that matches the consumption. But I do need to upgrade all of this system before it'll actually work completely. Everything's getting split evenly, which is good. System's not completely full yet. Whoops. So I guess I might as well hook it back into the line until it is completely full. And we should still have a decent stream of fire crystals coming for a while. Okay, so they're getting closer to full. I guess what I can do is I can just put... Alright, we'll cut the line off, see if it can absorb the rest of what's in it, and then go from there. It doesn't seem like it's accepting any more crystals, so I might just reverse the line. One got in, but that's like, yeah. Alright boys, go back the other way. Yeehaw. I have to be careful or else it's actually gonna pull from the the systems into the other ones, which is less than desirable. Okay, so it's feeding in. I've actually designed this line incorrectly. Or not incorrectly, but it's different than the rest. I won't stand for that. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't actually have any impact whatsoever on the speed of the system, but it was different, so it couldn't last. Okay. Interesting. There must just be a lot more, like, backlog than I thought. Part of these is it seems like they are not able to output them constantly. I can like tilt my camera and I can see, yeah, that the line is constantly full. So these all of the system can hold more, it just can't push more through. Okay, so the top system is full. I don't think I need to add any crystals. I think we're basically there. So we have met fuel demands, which means, honestly, I probably don't need to upgrade this setup. At least not right now. I guess I can shut off this line. We'll let everything filter out. Can always add more fire crystals if I need to, but it looks like we're at the point we are able to meet our fuel demands and thus just produce an astronomical amount of crap. We'll see if it stays that way once we're actually building. But oh, I didn't upgrade this barn. What a fool I am. Okay, so I'm assuming these barns are full then, yes. Okay. So now we have to actually do something with these resources. I don't believe I need any of the iron plates in any part of the system besides... Oh, all of the iron plates... Oh wait, no, I do need 3 iron plates to go to... So what's the distribution then? Because I'm producing 20 iron plates, but I need 3 of them to be sent, 4 of them to be sent to be gears. So that's going to take a splitter setup to appropriately distribute, which I'll probably want to do, and then just have it feed into them. I'm trying to think, because I can have my storage pre-divided, because like this is the pickup point, and then we'll pump out into a splitter setup. The splitter setup will divide it by the amount it needs to be split. But we're at a situation where it's 5 again. Crap. Okay, so I might want to actually use compute blocks then. And I might even need to package this, because otherwise it's going to be too many items flowing through the system. So, nails though. Nails are only being used to produce reinforced planks, if I believe. I guess. Well, no, because, yeah. The problem is I need 4 buildings to meet the demand for reinforced planks, but they're not going to be running consistently. So I can't just feed the system into them, or else they'll use resources that aren't specified for them. And they're gonna sell the excess, which will be fine later, but right now I can't afford to lose that excess, because they won't actually consume all of it. Or they can consume more now than they can later, as far as like the percentage is concerned. Okay, so let's build a packager and package my iron plates. I think that's the best course of action. But before I do it, I want to make sure. I guess the problem is... No, it's not a problem. Never mind. Yes, we'll use a packager. The nails are only being used to make reinforced planks, so I can just distribute them with minecarts. But the packager is going to effectively allow my... Oh, I need to actually build the hookups first, or else I won't be able to. It will allow me to cut the amount of computational, or I guess decisions I have to make by a quarter, which will then probably make it slow enough that I can work with it. Camera does not, or the game does not like me having my camera down that low. Okay, so it's gonna pack the crates, and and it's fill up very quickly. So now I need to build a system that counts the number of blocks that come out of it and then allows 4 of them to pass but kicks a 5th one into it. And I'm realizing that I've kind of designed this in a poor way in that it's going to kind of block off. But I can use a barn to kind of lower it to another level. Build the barn on this level. Need to build the barn 3 blocks up. I guess I'll still build the barn on this level, and this will be the barn that this will be the barn for iron that's destined for gears. And then I'll have a second barn up top for reinforced planks. And we should be getting close to being able to actually build that reinforced plank line. So this is kind of a waste of workforce, but I feel like it is going to be necessary. But also just, it's fun too, that's part of it. Okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then the 3rd block right there. Okay, so that'll be a silo. It'll just transfer it down. So I'm going to pause the game while I work on this. This system is pretty simple. Using a sorter that is currently deactivated, every time the block enters it, okay, yes, it'll count every block that goes through. On the 5th block it'll activate, which will allow a block to go through, and then once one block goes through, it'll activate. I'm trying I need to make sure that before this actually pumps all of my iron through it, that blocks behave the way that I think they do. So let's utilize this farm, or forest, lumber mill, that's what that's called, to do a little test run. So put down 2 silos, we'll build the system here, and test it, and if it works, then we will duplicate it. If it doesn't work, then I will rethink it. So, to do this, we will need a couple of compute blocks. And I guess I'll put all this down here. So, I need an agent trigger that is looking at the sorter and is turned on. It will activate a counter, and the counter will compare its value to a math block. If it is greater than or equal to 5, then it will turn that on. And I'll need a second agent trigger right here that looks at the block, that looks at the block just past that. So this will make sure that a block actually enters the system. When it activates, it will reset the counter. I'm trying to think how I need to do that. Need couple of things, so this is becoming a little more bloated as far as setup is concerned than I had wanted, but I still have space there. It just won't be exactly the same design. So I need a logic pusher, I need a number block, and I need a set block. So what I'm concerned about with this is that... Okay, now this needs to be set to 4, because only 4 blocks are allowed to pass, and then the 5th block needs to exit the system. It's not working at all. Neat! What is your problem? Did I forget to hook something up? Because that's pretty common. So this isn't even triggering, but it should be. But it isn't. No, I accidentally... Okay. I accidentally set up a logic link instead of an offset. There we go. Now it should work. Two, three, four. So, and of course this is not hooked up correctly either. And this is why you test things, because if you're dumb like me, you don't set it up correctly. Okay, so the counter block needs to push the math block, which pushes the sorter. Okay, good. And I need to manually reset it. 3, 4, so the 4th block. So it looks like it can even handle a constant stream. And then if I like rotate this so it stops, 22 and 7. I think. And then there's one more that's passed through, so I don't think it's quite working. So how many have actually entered the system? 29. I guess that's where the... Okay, so that is keeping track correctly. Okay, I think it might actually be taking one of the blocks. So it might need to be 5. Because the filter is the filter activating before and letting the block through? I guess what'll make this easier to test is if I only allow 5 items to pass. Okay, so I'll turn this back off, clear all these items. Build another silo. And fill it with exactly 5 planks. Okay, so there are 5 planks in there. Now we will let them go through the system and see what happens. It helps if you build your conveyor belts the right way. Okay, so yes, it is taking one it's not supposed to be taking. So this needs to be set to 5. It worked, but not the way it was supposed to work. So let's reset it and do it again. Okay. Same thing. So 4 should go through, and the last one gets pushed. Okay, perfect. So this is the setup we need to work with. We now know what needs to be done. Everything is beautiful. So let's make sure we do this right and do it right the first time. Need an agent trigger. I guess I should actually build platforms upon which to place my blocks. I need an agent trigger that is on and is looking at the sorter. Then a counter block that the agent trigger activates. Then a math block that compares. I guess what I can do, instead of greater than or equal to, I can do greater than 4. And it should prove, I mean, mathematically it is identical in this case since you can only work with whole numbers. Or integers. Okay, so then That block will activate the logic block. Then I need another agent trigger that is looking at the next block. There. It pushes a 0, which resets the counter. Okay, so I just need a pusher, a 0, and a set. So that sets that, that pushes that, that pushes that, that pushes that. Then if I rotate this, it should work. I hope. Are both these barns upgraded? Yes, they are. So I guess I can delete this because I know that it will either work or it won't, but I've duplicated this setup, so I'm not going to learn anything more from this. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not working. What did I do? I didn't hook up the counter block to the math block, of course. I mean, it's not really gonna matter because the system's gonna fill up anyway. Okay. So it looks like it's working, and we now have finally divided something so that 4 blocks go one way and then the other goes the other way. But it's also pretty modular in that it could very easily be reconfigured to split it on different quantities. All I have to do is change however many you want to go one way and however many you want to go the other way. You could have this set up on both sides if you wanted like 3 to go this way and 2 to go this way. And then this, you just duplicate this, and then once it was greater than, I guess that one would have to be greater than or equal to 2, it would reset. But that's not what we need, so that's not what I'm going to do. These will very slowly fill up. So, how's this go? I guess to be fair, this does have a lot of extra in it, but it shouldn't have that many extra. I guess it's working. I'll mess with it if I have to. Okay. What I want to do is make reinforced planks at least before I get off the stream. So, we've got our planks up here. We've got our barn with iron, which needs to be pumped into a packager. Because even though it only traveled a short distance, it was necessary to ensure that it would not overflow the system. Honestly, it might even try to be like a cheeky... well, I can't. Until filtering gets fixed, I can't be a cheeky fuck and try to double up and feed back through this packager to save a worker and then pump out what I want to hear. Okay. Scoot this out further. Packager number 2. I've done this incorrectly. This doesn't need to be a barn, but... crap. Okay. This should just be from one packager to another packager. And then the barn should be right there. So I'm gonna have to do it weird. And hopefully we're not already at a point where it's so full I won't be able to distribute the resources correctly. But I can just hook up the barn on the back and feed it in to the packager. I guess the disconcerting thing, though, is that for the first time ever... Okay, so... interestingly enough, I need more output. Because basically I have to build this setup twice, I guess. I'm not pulling enough items from the packager. Is a problem, needless to say. I didn't really account for having to do that, unfortunately. I don't think it will be impossible to do, but it does complicate things. I can't utilize the same system, I don't think. I might be able to, actually. I can try to, at least. I just kind of have to double up on my agent triggers. So I need another agent trigger. And they'll perform the same logic, just on their other friends. But now I guess we're running into issues where there could be competing input. Yeah, no, I want them to run on independent lines. It's just too risky. I cannot afford for the system to incorrectly act. There we go. I get all this stuff copied as best as I can so I don't have to go through the menus to find it all. So what's that? That's just another agent pusher. Okay, so let's make sure I set this up correctly the first time. Greater than 4. Connects to the sorter. Agent pusher is looking at the correct thing. And it links all of this. Nope. Still didn't fucking hook up the counter. Okay, well, it's working now. Well, it's not working. It will be working soon. Can I go there? Yes, okay, I can get over this one silo, which is good because I need to go down in a very convoluted way. 2, 3, okay, so I can put a silo here. I should just be able to go down, but I don't have enough space to do that, because I think I need to go down by 2 blocks. I don't, I only need to go down by 1. I mean, kinda sorta 2, but it'll work. Oh, and there is space to go down 2. There we go. Guess I'll delete that brick because it might block things. Okay. Now this will actually start filling up. No, it won't, because this is full. Because this is full. Shit. Which I guess means these have to be pushers rather than sorters. No, that's not the problem. The problem is this system is backed up. And if this system backs up, the whole system backs up. How do I get around that? I have an idea, but it's kinda dumb. Okay. So, utilizing pushers. I can take the excess and bring it down to the barn, I guess. So if there's ever too many in the system, then they just go down to the barn as well, which is going to make hooking that barn up a fucking nightmare, but that is beyond the point. In fact, it's going to be so nightmarish I might want to preemptively hook up this barn. Or at least build an output that I can work with and manipulate as need be. I mean, that is the benefit, I suppose, of it being packaged, is that I don't need as many ports utilized. I'm pretty sure I pointed my pushers in the wrong way, yes. So my pushers need to be that way. So if they can go into the building, they will. If they can't, then they'll go into this. So now this is a very redundant system, but if it's running at full capacity, it will properly distribute. If it is backlogged like it currently will be, then we don't have to worry about the system jamming because one side is backed up. Yeah, okay. So this is filling. It's seriously not able to out... Jeez. Okay. The single packager, despite having 6 ports, is not able to output fast enough, which is insane. How many fucking workshops did I need to make reinforced planks again? I only need 4. Okay. You know what, let's build 2 barns. No, that's a terrible idea. Let's not do that. Just because the system's backed up. I guess we'll see once everything's running. Well, no, because we do know that this is actually like a limiting factor. So we need to build a super port. We need all 9 ports on the one side. I mean, if I have to, I can upgrade it from there. What am I talking about? I don't have to do it like that. I have the magic of minecarts. We just need to build a minecart. It'll just spin at lightning speed. I mean, the barn is full now, so it's not really going to work, but... Finally, another time to use this. Okay. So, rail stops. Output, input. And then I need 1 minecart every other block. Beautiful. Okay, so once I'm actually pulling from the system, it'll work, but right now it is not. So I need 4 workshops. Honestly, I will probably end up using minecarts to hook everything up. I think that was my original plan, but I'm just now, like, mentally remembering that. To the point where it's like... I want to do this. Probably just build my workshops in a line right here. Like literally in a line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. They're nice and supported. So now we have to get all the goods in. And then I am also going to have to like split the output as well, which is amazing. And honestly, it'll utilize the same system, probably. Just won't be packaged, I don't think. Unless it has to, but I don't feel like that'll be an issue. What do I need for the pickaxe? I just need iron plates, so some of those excess iron plates... Oh shit. I might have done my math wrong. Because a pickaxe takes 3 iron plates, but I was... So technically then... Ooh, this is going to be an issue if I did my math wrong on how many iron plates I need in general. Okay, let's see. 6 there. Okay, no, I do remember counting this, because the 3... We're at 12 and a quarter. No. We're at 9. 15 and a quarter. 15 and a quarter. So I rounded it up to 20. But it was at like 19. So we should be producing more than we need anyway, but as far as dividing it's concerned, if I'm producing 20, where are these all going? Only 6 of them are going to the B reinforced planks? The rest are all going to the metal conveyor belt. I may have done goofed. On the plus side, I don't need a complicated splitting system now. I only need 3 outputs. Let's see. So the metal conveyor itself uses 6. The reinforced planks use a little over 6. And then the other third has to be split again. 3 of them will go to gears. 3 of them will go to pickaxes. But it won't... I guess more than 3 have to do that, but as far as the math comes out, it's fine. So I do literally just need 3 splitters here. Or like a 3-way splitter. Man, that's disappointing. Okay, let me redo this. That wasn't quite right. Okay, so I do kind of have to restructure this now. I can't have my little thing going down. I do still have to have 2 layers. That's not what I want. Okay, structure, logistics block, splitter, there we go. Eventually I'll mentally get there. And now just build the same thing on top. Okay. It helps if you replace the grabber. Okay, and that also has the default like pusher behavior, so it won't be wasting anything. Okay, so a third of them go to this system to be turned into reinforced planks. A third of them will go to this system to, I don't remember. I guess one of these will feed directly into the machine shops producing the metal conveyors. The other ones will get split and half of them will go to, I guess this will probably be the one I want split then, because I'm producing the reinforced planks here, I'll be able to siphon them off more closely to where I need them, build my pickaxes, and then the other half can go and be turned into gears. Okay, so let's get those workshops down. And they will be making, where is it, reinforced plank. So even at, whoops, that's what X, even at high production rate, I do actually need to change the shape of this because I need to access this barn. You might be wondering, why are you doing it this way? You can just feed it directly from the packager, but I want to make sure that there is an ample buffer. I love buffers. I guess I'll delete this one so that they'll be in line and they won't bump into each other. Because that's one way to ruin the system, is have them crash into one another. Alright, 2 minecarts. Going back and forth. Alright, so now I can build the iron line, and then we'll build the nail line above it, and then on the other side we'll have the plank line, and then they'll all just output from one end. I'll have to do it in a way where they can all feed into a barn. That's gonna be a little tricky, but I don't think it'll be impossible. And then I will split from the barn. I will be able to use the system that I built over here in that way. I just will have to reconstruct it, but I've figured it out, so I should be able to rebuild it pretty easily. And then 60% of those will go to be turned in 60% of the reinforced planks will go to be turned into pickaxes. Yes, and then only one will be getting sold. But for now, I can just have all of them being sold. Okay, so let's build this line. Actually, don't need to extend all the way out. So you can still access the building from there. That's not the right thing. Okay, input, and then there's the output. I can probably afford 2 cart space here, so I will do that. And again, so close yet so far. Okay, so this should... Yep, alright, so this is all transporting everything, filling this up. Nails. Do I want a lot of minecarts? I feel like I probably will just do it that way. So this needs to be 1 block above here. What the heck? Oh, that was the wrong spot. There we go. Okay, so this is actually going to be a bit of an issue because I'm going to crash into this. Shit. Okay, I think I have enough space where I can go up without bumping into the other thing. So I'll actually want to build this line a couple blocks out just so I have better visual representation of what I'm working with here. So 2 up, and then we have to go back down to be on level. We have to go down by 3. It's pretty brutal. Oh, no, only 2. Okay, never mind. Never mind, crisis averted. To make sure we don't accidentally attempt to feed into the packager with the rails. Okay, so now we've just got to place everything. Because these are magic rails, we don't have to worry about the change in elevation. It won't lose any speed, which is important. Okay, so it didn't try to hook up onto anything, which is good. So we've got the output, and then just need all of the inputs. Probably still have minecarts every 2 blocks. Although in this circumstance it's going to be a lot more annoying. Well, at least that's the right spot. So close yet so far. I don't know if we really need these many minecarts, but I would rather be safe than sorry, and this prevents me from having to build any buffer storage, because the line itself is buffer storage. Okay, I think that's everything. Yep, there they go. It hurts my eyes to look at, but it is working, and that's important. Okay, so these are all full of nails now. Now I need to actually provide planks. And this system will be a-okay, good to go. I might want to actually build the output before I build the planks. So, I have 4 buildings, which means I'll have 2 inputs, or 2 outputs from each building into my barn. I need to design that with that in mind. Okay, so I need to leave 2 spaces as well for the planks. Okay, barn. Upgrade it. So 2 from here. One will have to be done with a grabber. I have 2 from here. I guess the issue is going to arise with the last one, but I think I can go vertical with that one. Does this work this way? No, I need the grabber. That's like, I don't like this zigzag. I think I'll get rid of the zigzag, just so that it's easier to understand what's happening. Okay. We shouldn't need 8 outputs, but I want to make sure. And we won't need a packager either, even in the case where all of these outputs are being used, because I will be able to utilize enough ports on this after splitting everything that it should be fine. Although I might need to build a pretty extensive splitting infrastructure, so I guess we'll see. I guess in many ways I do need a packager, because the way that this is set up. So I guess the better question is, do I package this, or do I just change 2 of the filters on this packager to be reinforced planks? Because it'll still run, it won't jam up the system, but that way it should be good. And only 40% of the output from the system is going to be in here, so hopefully 2 ports is good enough, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so this barn needs to go up and over things. It also needs to be down lower enough that the rail system can go over it at first. This could be tricky. Okay. So that's not going to work. I could go up 1 block and then just build the rail, because the other rails are 2 blocks, but I could technically build 1 block higher if it ends up being the difference, which it will be. Okay, so I do have to do it like this, which is going to make the system not as pretty, but whatever. Still leaves space to get this hooked in correctly. That way, that way, glitched into the lumber mill. Both of these need grabbers. Alright, so now from this barn we must pull out a copious number of planks. So I can probably just swing by and graze the front of the barn. Alright. Connect up to the last one there. Build my rail. Alright, so now we need to take the rail stops, make sure these all have inputs, make sure the barn is an output, and get my minecarts. Same rules apply, 1 every other 2 blocks if I can do that without running into buildings, which I don't seem to be able to do. Get out of here. I really hope I'm not going to have any problems putting that back, because that would be very unfortunate. And again, so close, but so far still haven't found a magical line that's the right length. Okay, so once I put that lumber mill back, this line should start running. And then we'll see if anything is lacking. So all of these will be filled and we'll be producing. We'll start pumping into this barn. This is backed up because I used the wrong type of scaffold. This is why we check these things. Okay. So now that line should work. Not seeing any come out of here, also probably for the same reason. Please. Oh no, I've done it now. I broke the whole thing. Okay, well. Man, I just like destroyed this assembly line. Okay. Now all my carts are backed up, but hopefully it will be a non-issue. And they're sorting themselves out. See, look, it's a self-healing line. They're back to their original spacing. That's amazing. Now, it helps if I put down a rail stop if I want this building to continue to be producing things. Okay, so why is it not outputting now? Ah, because we have the same problem right here. I'll get there eventually. And it should fit through there. Okay, good. So now the output is not jammed on any of these. This barn's going to begin filling. I am hemorrhaging blue coins, so for the time being, I am just going to take 2 lines and feed them straight into this packager. Oh, it's on a different level by 1 block. What the fuck? Damn it. 1 block. Okay. I mean, it's a simple enough fix. It just makes it so the line isn't, you know, level the whole way. And that bothers me. Oops. Okay. Throw it on a grabber. Build a nice little support block. And start selling some reinforced planks. We'll see a boost in happiness, or at least we should. I guess I don't even need to filter these. I should, however, I should filter the top ones instead of the bottom ones then. The first 2 of these should be reinforced planks, so they won't take up slots they're not supposed to take up. And then this will be reset to packable item, so will that, and that will be item crate. Okay, so now it's filling the correct slots. We're selling things, happiness is going up, productivity in turn will also increase, and just kind of watch and make sure things are going correctly. Yeah, so these are keeping up pretty well. This barn is... What's going on with this barn? Okay. Oh, of course, this was my overflow barn. I just wait for it to empty. I'm like, nothing's going into it, this is an issue. Okay, so this is accepting items as quickly as it possibly can. One thing to note is that I don't know what I'm supposed to know. Oh yeah, this is artificially impacting the rate that it's able to accept from the main system, so I need to keep that in mind. Alright, so we've gone through the backlog. Now we're selling at our current maximum rate. We should start seeing boosts everywhere, which will help maintain happiness from existing systems, but we're not going to see... This is just so backed up. It's all because of this wheat. I already gave them a little bit of boost. I don't really want to boost them with earth boosters though, because it kind of defeats the system of or defeats the point of the system, since the system's whole purpose is to generate yellow coins, and then I will be costing yellow coins. So I could just eke out some more upgrades on the whole Omnistone face. Although I forgot that I still have a lot. This system is just like half upgraded. Yeah, all these still need to be upgraded. But no, and they're not even. Oh, they're not even good enough. Oh, let me look at it. Maybe it's just jammed. I mean, it is jammed, I guess. What's the problem? I think these have full crystals on them, so the rechargers aren't working. I left it hooked in for too long. That's the issue. I left the kettle on. Now the house burned down. Okay, so does this network even have anything in it? Okay, these two networks can still afford more input. This one needs some attendance. Okay, so it was just jammed. That was part of the issue. But I do think it is above saturation currently. So what I need to do is go back to the Mana network. Just go ahead and pull a couple of these out. Okay. Problem is there's no space for the for the rechargers to output new crystals, which means they can't accept depleted crystals, and then as a result, the system cannot add more crystals. Basically, it was running at it was oversaturated. So by reducing the number of crystals in the system, we're actually going to improve its efficiency. But also, it's just like it can't keep up. It was a noble effort, I suppose. Is what these are running constantly now. Their output is full. What's the bottleneck? This is the bottleneck. I guess that makes sense. I'm only using a third of what I need. I guess that's the really disconcerting point, is that this massive infrastructure can't keep up, and I'm only utilizing a third of what I need. Like, why? What is the problem? I guess part of it is one half of the system is going to be utilized at a much higher rate than the other half by virtue of the fact that minecarts will pull from these mines before they pull, or I guess these forges technically, before they pull from the rest of the forges. So that'll give one side a chance to artificially speed up, and I guess it'll go faster than later when it needs it. Is this working without a buffer? It seems like it is. Because I'm looking at nails, I should probably check both types. Yeah, these are completely jammed. I made a terrible mistake. No, I haven't. I mean, I might have, but I haven't realized it yet. So nails is being used at approximately too fast. But I think that's okay. Right now these are running at 100% capacity, which they're not supposed to do. So part of it is, I guess, the nails will be a limiting factor on how many pieces I can push through, because technically I'm only supposed to be using 3 and like 1/6 of the last one, but I'm currently running 4, so it should be okay that I'm running into issues. Yeah, I was like wondering if I need the second line, but the fact that anything is going across the second line means I need the second line. What about these guys? How are these all doing? I should take a look back at my other systems to make sure they're working. Add some support scaffold to this so it'll look pretty. So yeah, if things are successful, I'm sort of proud of my calculator, but obviously it still has work to be done on it. I haven't input all of the data for everything yet, and obviously the calculations for anything power related are horribly broken right now. But I just wanted to at least utilize it, show off a little bit. I wanted to make it without macros because I know that it's a security concern for some people, but I do plan on sharing this once it's up and running and has all the data in it, and it'll end up being below the stream, so you can the viewers can download it and use it as you wish to help you with your own games. But of course, because I'm not using macros, it has proven to be much more difficult to set up than it otherwise would have been. Anyway, let's make sure that nothing else is horribly broken. We seem to be balanced on red coins relatively. Are blue coins going up? Or are they still going down, just at a slower rate? That's something to be concerned about. Same thing with yellow coins. But are yellow coins just a product of... That's disconcerting. I don't think... Where's this setup? I'm not currently making any conveyor belts, but my yellow coins are still going down really fast. And that's gonna be because of all of the rechargers that I'm using. But this system is going to be using rechargers constantly. I've got time. I guess that's part of it. I do have time. Do I wait until I can make crowns? Or do I change this? Because I'm not seeing, unfortunately, because I'm too rich, so I don't know how many red coins I actually have, so it's hard to tell which direction it's moving. That being said, the system still isn't running at full speed, and that's part of it. So I guess we'll just kind of have to finish the general goods lines as quickly as possible so we can get an accurate understanding of where it's at and where it's going to be, and then we'll be able to move on forward with building crowns probably, and then seeing if we need to make stamina spellbooks instead of strength spellbooks. But in the meantime, thank you guys for coming out and watching. I hope you all had a good time. I hope you were able to learn something, or at least just had fun. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.